Welcome to The Art of Being Unstoppable, the podcast where we will go beyond the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Be part of down-to-earth, no BS conversations where we will explore hot topics on love and money, relationships and business, beauty, and who we get to be with all that shit in between. With our insights and your actions, let's be unstoppable together. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Art of Being Unstoppable. And we have a guest today, and I wanted to share with you, Jon Z and I hopped on a call a couple months ago now, right, Jon? And he completely blew me away with what he does. And it's something that I've actually never experienced before. And I've trained and developed over 3,000 coaches. And I thought, man, we need to get this man out in the world loud and proud, sharing his gift. So, Jon, thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate that great introduction.
So, Jon, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So maybe it's helpful to understand my backstory.
Okay.
So I was in the corporate world for 34 years. I worked for a software company. We sold software to entrepreneurs. And I got to a point where I got burned out and I was kind of addicted to work. And I realized this wasn't sustainable. I knew I couldn't keep it up. It wasn't healthy. So I decided to kind of do an early retirement and I became a coach. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm still kind of burned out and nothing's really, I thought leaving the corporate world would actually be beneficial for my health. It wasn't. So I realized I'm not perceiving what's going on here correctly. And so I became, even before I left the corporate world, I became kind of a student of the world you can't see. Like it's the psychic, the spiritual world. And I studied, I took courses, I became an energy healer. I was just fascinated and curious about what we can't necessarily put our finger on. And it led me to this work, and it led me to how I coach, which is very intuitive. And I realized that that's really our value, is our intuition. We're all unique beings, but we're trying to kind of like fit in. Like since we were 4 or 5 years old, we started learning how to survive in this world by fitting in because we wanted to be like others. We wanted to have friends. But those survival strategies as a little child, they don't serve us well. And so in order to really be ourselves and thrive and kind of be in abundance, I've learned we need to kind of rewind those strategies and just tune into our intuition and just follow that and see where it takes us.
That's Vicki, you and I, we talk about this a lot, like the world of what you don't know, and you don't know it. And we feel the more we talk about these things, the more we'll open up for others. And I know on our podcast, sometimes people come to us and say, wow, I didn't even know that was hiding behind my view. I didn't even know that that's what I was dealing with too. So we thought it might be a great idea. And I don't know how you feel about this. And guys, we're like literally putting Jon on the spot here, but you took me through a powerful experience of really being able to see my inner child and what I needed to hear, and you have a unique methodology of doing that. Can you just share a little bit of how your intuition works, how your gift works?
Yeah, and I will gladly do that, but I will preface it. It's not me. Okay. The minute I think it's me, then it doesn't work. We're all equally intuitive. We all have the same abilities. It's just I've practiced and I trust my senses. So what I do is if I get permission from someone, I will tune into their inner child. And I'll see their inner child, and their inner child I actually feel their inner child in my body. And then I have a conversation with the inner child, and the inner child tells me what they're afraid of. And that's the key, because you know how when you're if you're walking on the street and you see a dog, and if you're afraid of the dog senses that, right? Well, that's kind of what's going on with our fears. We project fears. And when we do that, we're actually creating a self-fulfilling prophecy because we're emitting these vibrations that are telling people around us, I'm afraid. And that causes the other person to feel that, this unspoken communication, and it causes them to get triggered. That's why when you're on the news and you watch day after day, people are taking a video of these interactions between the police and the suspect. And you'll notice that the closer they get to each other, the more triggered each gets. And, that's why George Floyd couldn't breathe. He was completely overwhelmed with the fear he felt. So my vision, my hope is that we can learn how to deal with these projections, take responsibility for them. And then we live more in love, a state of love, and the people around us feel better. That's kind of the objective.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's fascinating. I could just listen to you talk. You have a calming about you. I just feel that. Yeah. Wow.
It's almost a meditative state.
It is. It really is. I even have me and my tears, but yeah. Crazy.
So we thought,
I
sorry, Vic.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tina.
I was just going to say that, we thought maybe it would be awesome to work with Vicki today since I had this experience to give her the experience. And I don't know if it works better for you if I hide my camera and you can just be with Vicki.
No, I can do it.
Okay.
With you on. Yeah, Vicki, are you open?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I really am.
Okay. And before we start, is there anything in particular, like physically or something that's going on that you would like resolved? Like you would like some clarity about? Like sometimes people have like a pain in their shoulder or something that they just don't know how to resolve. Is there anything like that going on in your body?
I have a really sore knee.
Okay, well that's helpful. That's
I do
helpful.
have
Which
a very,
knee
very
is it?
sore knee. My left knee.
Your left knee is sore. Okay. Well, maybe something will come up that helps that. You never know. Like, I'm not in control of this, but okay. I'll give you kind of a demo of how it works. The key is that you give me permission because I don't want to do this without it.
Oh, yes, I give you permission.
Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes. That's how it works best for me. And tune into Vicki's inner child. Yeah, I see her. She's very tense. Like, see my shoulders? She's very tense. And she's, I'd say, about 4 or 5 years old. I'm trying to get her to connect with me. Will you tell me what's you're afraid of? Yeah, she kind of picked her head, afraid of being seen, which is really common. That's like the most common thing I hear. Okay, I get it. Would you be open to just taking back that projection of fear of being seen? She's nodding her head. She's kind of dark, like her essence is dark. So she's taking it back. And my shoulders drop. Feels like she can breathe easier now. In her colors, there's more color or more light in her energy field. So she's smiling. And I'm asking her, is there something else you're afraid of? She's nodding her head. What is that? She says, I want to play. She says, I want to play. Okay. What's stopping you? She gets a little, agitated again. What is it? What are you afraid of? I'm a little bit too much. So are you afraid of being judged for your playfulness? Yes, she says. So can you take back that fear of being judged for how you play and your energy? She says yes. So she's taking it back, fear into her heart, and yeah. So now she's much more expressive It felt like she felt like, she couldn't be herself. She couldn't be her full radiance, just bubbly self because she felt judged. Now, there's one other thing that I forgot to ask her. So can you also take back the fear? Do you feel any guilt or shame around being seen? Any guilt and shame around just being your bubbly, playful self? So can you take back the fear you're projecting of releasing all guilt and shame for just being seen, your fear of being seen, and the fear of just being yourself and very playful and radiant? And she nods her head. So take that fear back, pull it back into your heart. She's doing it. Okay. So now she's just running around like a little kid. So I'm going to open my eyes and see. We didn't get to your knee, but we could explore that if you want before I open my eyes.
Sure.
So, Vicki, I'm going to talk to you directly. Do you want me to keep exploring about your knee?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to talk to the version of Vicki who first projected a fear of some kind that's causing her knee, left, right, left knee
Yeah.
to be in pain or whatever. Feel like she's 7. What is it that you're afraid of? Something about being a girl. What is it? Something about, do you have brothers or?
No.
No brothers. Something about boys. Like, okay, tune in. What is it you're afraid of? You won't be accepted because you're a girl. That's what she's saying. So you're afraid of not being accepted because you're a girl? Yes. Can you take that projection back? Like pull it into your heart? Okay, I felt better. Do you have any guilt or shame around that? Can you take that back, that projection of fear, of feeling guilt and shame around your fear of not being accepted because you're a girl? Feels lighter. I don't know if you're feeling anything. You might not, but that's kind of that's how I work. Does this mean anything to you, Vicki?
I'm an only child, and my dad had a motorcycle business, and I think that maybe have been something that I really would have been able to step into had I been the boy, right?
Yeah.
Not that he ever made me feel that way by no means, but I do think that may have been something that could have happened had I been a boy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was picking up. I didn't understand it, but it was this male energy and you felt like you weren't accepted. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't ever wanted my dad to be disappointed in me. Ever. As long as I can remember.
Yeah. 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 So what about the other stuff that, did any of that make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember as a child, we had a neighbor that was across the street and he would walk me to school when I was like 5, like in kindergarten. But I don't remember a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like I have a hard time remembering. Some people can say, oh, I remember, like Tina will say, I remember when I was 5, this, but I don't have that. I don't know if I block it off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, most people don't. There are some people that do, but most people don't because the emotions can get really intense and we kind of shut down parts of ourselves. And it's really common to find women who are afraid because they feel like their energy is too much. And when they were young.
I have always felt that way.
Yeah. And that's
always. Even as a child, my parents were very introverted, very shy,
yeah.
And I was like, I don't know where you came from. I was always that one that was, full of school spirit or energy. And it was I always tried to tame that.
Yeah, but that's your true essence. That's who you are. And if we could all kind of allow ourselves to stop judging that and accept that, then we could be more kind of following our dreams, whatever those are. And then we don't feel the need to act out because we're doing what we love to do.
Exactly.
That's pretty spot on.
It is.
Vicki and I have some of our conversations. Like we're always talking about that. Like, is it too much? And Vicky's the one that's telling me, no, no. It's almost like this compulsion to like, no, Tina, you need to be you. No, you need to be out there. It's coming from, I think, an energy that maybe is from a younger version of herself, holding herself back. Now I can see that, because you will say that to me all the time. Stop hiding. Stop hiding. You don't need to hide. Come out. Come out. Come out to play.
And I always have felt that way too. Like, am I going to say the wrong thing? Is this okay? Can I do, I've always felt that way. I've always felt like, even with doing the podcast, I've always wanted to do this. And Tina and I have talked about this, and this is kind of like my baby. I've really wanted to create this and bring it to so many people so that we can show that it's okay to be who you are.
Right.
And not hide behind, and you do get criticism for being who you are, but, I wish more people could be just who they are. I want to just be who I am.
Right. Yeah.
I know it was a challenge.
How else can I serve your audience? Does your cat want to? I've never done it with a cat, but maybe your cat wants.
That was funny. Blooper.
Yeah, let's not edit that one out. My gosh, my cat wanted to be involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
That's so
Do you know
funny.
anything about his inner child? Because he's a little.
Well, my daughter's got a cat, and cats can be really jealous. Really jealous. If they see others getting attention, then they want attention, right?
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs
And
are
I think
more.
he is one of those.
Dogs are worse than cats, but yeah.
Well, Jon, if there are people that are not if, when there are people watching and
Yes.
listening to this and resonating with it, and they want to learn more about their inner child or their fears or what's getting in their way, where can they find you? Where's the best way for them to start following you, reaching out to you, connecting with you?
Yeah, I don't do much social media. I don't, but I have a nice coaching practice, and I'm pretty booked, but I'm available if someone feels, the need, they really want to, they feel called. The reason I do this work is to help people to go after their big dream, to really dream big, like much bigger than they can possibly think of just for them. Like I'm talking the world big. That's what turns me on, is someone who gets connected to a version of themselves at age 5 or 4 where they were really connected to a big dream, but they didn't, for whatever reason, they just chose to hide it or protect themselves. And that's my calling, is to help me first go after my big dream and then inspire others to do that. So if someone feels called to work with me, I might have a waiting list, but please reach out. I can give you my email and we can connect and just see if there's a good fit.
So we want to put that in the show notes. So send them your email.
Yeah. So my email is just JON at ProAdvisor Coach. It's all one word, ProAdvisorCoach.com.
Okay, awesome. So if you guys are interested in learning more, you can email Jon. Jon, thank you so much for your time today. We know that you're busy up to big things and transforming the world, but we appreciate your time. We don't take it lightly. And we adore you. We think you're amazing. And yeah, thank you so much, Vicki.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this today, because it really did. It opened my eyes to a lot. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. All right. Thanks, Tina and Vicki.
Awesome. Any final thoughts, Jon? Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah, just give yourself permission to dream, to really go for it. I mean, what I've learned is it's not about you. That's where we get tripped up, is we think, oh, who am I? Like, a great story about this. You got me going now with that question. I'm into sports big time. I love playing golf. I'm not that great, but I love playing. I love just playing, right? That's what kids love to do, is play. When we're in that playful spirit, we're just being our true selves. We're We're not trying to be someone else. So great story. Scotty Scheffler is a golfer who is number one in the world. But prior to being number one in the world, he was kind of stuck because he was trying to be perfect. And he thought he had to be perfect to win. He finally got over that. And he was winning the Masters for the first time on a Sunday morning. It's a 4-day tournament. Sunday morning, he wakes up. He's got the lead in the Masters. First time he had the lead. And he woke up and he was so anxious. He was so scared. And he said, I don't know if I can do this. And he was in this mindset of it's about me. And that mindset will kill all our dreams. So he had the ability to share with his wife what he was going through. And she, love to meet her, she said, who are you to judge if this is your time? And sure enough, that kind of put him in his place. It's not about him, it's about his gifts. Gifts, they're not his. They're coming through him. And sure enough, he won. And he gave credit to his wife for helping him through that. So that's the one thing I want everyone to know. It's not about you. It's about the gifts that want to come through you. And we just need to get out of our own ego and let it come. And then if we all do that, the world will be in peace. Because there's no need to act out. There's no need for violence or crime. But we have to do that work to get out of our own way. And there is a course called Positive Intelligence that I love. It's a 6-week course, and it teaches you how to deal with your saboteur behaviors. That most of my clients go through that course because I recommend it.
I've gone through that course as well.
You going through it, Vicki?
Oh yeah, we love it.
Tina?
Yes.
Okay, well, I use that as the foundation of my coaching.
Yeah.
And if you do have listeners that are interested, I do have pods of people that are going through the course. So that way I can serve a bigger group. So there's pods of maybe 5 or 6 or 7 people. And I spend an hour a week with them. And that might be a good way for your listeners to get introduced to some of this.
Yeah, and we share the positive intelligence quiz. We'll put that in the show notes too. And
the saboteur assessment.
The saboteur assessment. So
awesome. Yeah.
Mine is the controller hyperachiever. Those are my 2 big ones. They serve me well, but I know when I get hooked now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Jon, thank you again so much for being here with us. And thank you all for watching. We hope you got as much value from this as we do, meeting these extraordinary humans like Jon and Vicki. Thanks for being vulnerable and open and sharing your life a little bit more with us. I know that's not easy because you don't know what's going to come up for you. So thank you for being that person that's just willing to put it out there, regardless of the outcome. It takes a lot of courage to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you know what? You have so many it's just a good feeling to be around you. And I think that anybody that has the privilege to work with you, whether it's through Positive Intelligence or even, join your waiting list, but I think it's definitely something that people won't be disappointed with. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with us. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Bye, Jon.
Take care.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, Jon. Well, friends, that is the end of our episode today. If you love this episode, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And please share us with your friends and tag us on your socials at The Art of Being Unstoppable. So for today, have yourself a beautiful day and let's be unstoppable together. See you next time.